sadly, the British government doesn't have a clue what they're doing. They have said with certainty that they're going to leave the single sky, the open skies regime, which is basically the European Union for airlines, because they don't want to obey European Court of Justice rulings. But if you leave open skies, then we go back to WTO rules. But aviation is not covered by WTO. So if you're going to leave open skies, you must negotiate a bilateral between the UK and Europe within the next 2 years. And I don't think they're going to negotiate a bilateral within the next 2 years, because I think the Europeans are looking around and say, how do we teach the British a lesson? How do we teach the British man in the street a lesson? Maybe cutting off flights for 3 months after the end of March 19 he'll begin to understand what's going on. Because, explaining passporting of financial services doesn't appeal to the guy in the street in Hull or in Grimsby or in Leicester. But he can't go on holidays, fly to Spain for his summer holidays. Now they could begin to understand what's happening. And I think there's a real risk that there will be no flights to and from the UK for a couple of weeks or a couple of months after March 19, because it's one of the ways they're going to demonstrate to Joe Public the ultimate solution is Britain doesn't leave the biggest free trading bloc in the world. But I think they may well change their minds in 2 years' time. I hope some common sense will prevail, but I don't get much sense of any common sense in it. But Norway is a member of Open Skies. So Norway, as a member of Open Skies, has to respect European Court of Justice rulings. Only maintain Open Skies by observing European Court of Justice rulings, but that is, an anathema to the right wing of the Tory party at the moment. Now, maybe some common sense will prevail. Or alternatively, you negotiate a bilateral with Europe. But I don't see how they're going to negotiate a bilateral with Europe that doesn't include respecting the decisions of the European Court of Justice. So one way or another, the Brits are either going to get pushed off a cliff, or they're going to have to back down here and say, okay, change our minds.